Um, uh, Protecting.
Yes, neighbor, I'm still here.
You're a bit of a historian. Hear me out. When Mark Golding leans on legality as defense, he may believe he's containing damage, but politically and philosophically, he may be doing something far more consequential, protecting. Golding may be confirming, in my view, a suspicion that has long hovered over the People's National Party, that the law is not their guide, it is their refuge. And is that distinction not what is kind of hurting them right now?
You're on point 100%, neighbor.
Yes. What I want you to do is to help me to put that in a historical context where this leaning in mirrors the old PNP that we have all run away from and that we rejected in 2007.
Yes, from time to time, in your notes, you make reference to the Machiavellian positioning of, one thing lies as opposed to the other as it relates to the politics. Now, democracies are really only supported by people and never by those who put themselves forward as representatives to lead the politics. Now, historically, the People's National Party have only been established by lawyers from the very onset. The first 6 people and the only 6 that Norman Manley could find in 44 were just lawyers. And again in 49, just lawyers. Now, yes, that has its place as it relates to understanding the precepts of law when you're putting legislation together, when you're discussing, debating legislation. But the People's National Party has found a way, just like with everything else, to use this foundation as the rock under which they hide.
Is that why Horton suggests that they see the people as subjects?
Yes.
In other words, a society illiterate sees this as defense, but a society that is intelligent sees this as spin protected.
No.
And
in other words, a society that is illiterate sees this positioning as legitimate.
Correct.
Yes.
But a society educated will see this as political spin. Is that not true? And that is the problem the PNP probably is facing now, that the society has emerged from the illiterate colonial past and is now into a time when information is readily available. People could literally put that letter into one of these AI thing and ask it to break it down for them and show them the nonsense.
But neighbor, you fire like a stallion tonight, man.
Well,
no.
Am I not correct?
You are on point, because you see, for the PMP who have set themselves in stone, and in so much so that their former glory have been lived through the lenses of lawyers who could, by the quint of an eye, put a position forward legally, a legal position forward, to wash a situation.
And especially if you have a media that when you control
that
the
condones
media,
it, yes,
and the narrative goes out there, then the party continues to win.
Right. So in the eyes of those who hold the politics up, which are the people, requiring a moral positioning on particular issues, the PMP have established themselves as presenting a legal positioning which forms the basis of them kind of washing them hands, as the cartoon is depicting today.
Yes.
You made mention
Yes.
of it. Now, when you do that in a society that has now grown and matured somewhat,
yes. Yes.
it is sort of a spit
growing
in the people's face.
Growing.
Yes. So you're spitting in the people's faces. I'm taking this approach, but you made mention again, if the PMP haven't gotten to a point where they should realize that they need to change, because I don't think that they're really observing the political landscape from the people's perspective. And I think that is the reason why they're still holding on to this and refusing to change. Scratchy spoke about the change, and Harry, an extension of what Scratchy said before. If they refuse to change, neighbor, then they will continue to have the same results that they have been having for the past 3 elections. Now, the PMP has been in decline since 2002, and PJ Patterson, a political genius, having realized that, decided that his best chance of holding some semblance of the form he held in history, having been the prime minister previously to have won 3 elections, it was best for him to go at that point before the next election, because internally he realized that the party was declining in interest and stature among the people. The party was becoming a sort of a dinosaur in the eyes of the people. The people were fed up and frustrated with the PMP. And having realized that, he decided to go. No, I don't think there's some disturbance there. Somebody's mic, they're in a dance hall or something, you know. Anyway, so I don't think the PMP, especially with how Andrew Holness is performing, I don't think the PMP has gotten enough time to really sit down and look into themselves. I don't think they have gotten enough time to do an introspection, neighbor, because here's what the PMP is up against. And let me situate this in about 45 seconds. We're at a point in Jamaica where an opposition, because we have been without an opposition for 3 terms, almost 15 years, it's going to go to now. But here's a good thing that is coming out of this. For the first time in Jamaica's history, we have a government that listens and pays attention. So the things that the opposition should be championing on behalf of the people, what the government has done is just have gone directly to the people, listened to the plight of the people, and are addressing the issues without the opposition. So the opposition is of no moment to the people, because they are not championing the things that they should be. What is the opposition doing? Punching below the waist. And at some point, the Jamaican people, especially the women who favors Andrew Holness, are going to be frustrated with them, because every time they mention the politics, it is personal. They're punching below the belt. And because of that, then the government now has found a way to maneuver, having the people providing the kind of pushback and demand on the government for the government to do right by us that the opposition should be championing. And because of that, the opposition is found wanting and lacking, and the government is having a field of a day. And I think this is going to continue, as somebody said earlier, for another 10 years.
Let me lean in with you a little bit more, protecting, since as you are on a roll. Let me get a little deeper. The problem here is a matter of trust, protecting Jamaica, and yes. Trust operates on a different plane than law. You see, the law will win you in the courtroom. It don't win you at the ballot box.
No,
there are some perceptions, protecting. If you are accused of a crime and you go to court and you get away, your community still condemn you, you know. The perception that you did it, you can't erase that, you know, even though the court may set you free. Because you see, law governs actions, but trust governs interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
The law asks, what can be proven? Trust asks, what do I believe about you?
About you, yeah.
And once belief turns, it does not easily reverse. Is this not what the problem the PNP is having? That the people of Jamaica just don't trust them. It doesn't matter what they come with. They don't have the trust of the Jamaican people. Is this not what the problem is?
Neighbor, sometimes I wonder if the government, knowing this, because you're on point, sometimes is a little bit too laid back. Because literally, the PNP is stumbling over its own self. The PNP is having an issue looking in the mirror. The mirror of the history of independent Jamaica up until this point. And that's the reason why the gentleman who came up earlier, he was about to get really angry, because that's how they are. Because guess what? Once the reflection starts, it becomes a problem for them. And they are struggling, neighbor, as you rightfully position and situate. They are struggling with the fact that their wretched past they cannot shake. But neighbor, you know what else is true? What else is true is that because of their refusal to evolve, it is causing more problem than doing good for them. For example, it is now becoming the norm for the past maybe 2 years. The PNP publicly says there are government members who does something, elicit 6. And within hours after those utterances, one of their members, our former member, is being arrested and dragged before the court.
Yes.
Their names are embroiled in some corruption, you know? So the more people see, because again, the spoken word has its place, but action is worth more than the spoken words. And so the people are seeing in real time corruption happening with you, so the people now believes that you're just trying to draw the wool, pull the wool over their eyes.
And it's worse, and it's worse because you are in opposition. Imagine you are in opposition and scandals follows you into opposition.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, man. This party is wounded.
High level criminality, neighbor. But guess what? We have been we have been saying this for a while. You know, some of it you believe at certain point when you see the evidence, which I think is what is happening on a broader scale with the Jamaican people. The more they see the evidence of what is wrong with the PNP, the more we situate the truth of the ills with the PNP, is the more people are now beginning to understand, because there are a few things happening in front of their eyes. In opposition, you have over 12 scandals in opposition, and you have about 30, close to 40 while you were in government. And so as these pile on and as these adds up, the people, even their own, because I tell you, there are dark days ahead for the PNP. No matter how encouraging it looks, because they want 14 seats, there are very dark days up ahead for the PNP.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.